Hey guys, it's Clovis, and in the last video we talked about how to make the AI play for the player, and in this video we're going to be doing the opposite. We are going to be playing as the enemy. So if you've always wanted to get revenge against yourself after getting your ass kicked so many times at the intro of the game, we can now do this. We can now play as the enemy and destroy the player, and we can see how fair the game really is. So why don't we go ahead and do that? We're going to start by following what we did in the last video, where we will go to my desktop and we'll see what's going on here. We got the emulator open. Nothing really fancy to see, it just looks like the start of a normal game. And if we open up the debug menu, we have access to a lot of information that might seem very crazy, and I don't know what a lot of it means. But GMS told me what some of it means, and it's important to note that once we go into a duel, we can change everything up. So that's what we're going to do. Let's go ahead and let's try Weevil first, huh? And try Weevil first. And we're going to have to pick an AI to play for the player. Well, we don't have to. We could play against ourselves, but that's not really what we're going for here. So because this is just a generic deck, I'm going to give it Deck Master K AI. So what I'm going to do is, again, go to my desktop. I'm going to click somewhere in the memory tab. And we want to search. We want to hold control, press G, enter expression. And if we look at the game, you can see we are actually red rose. So when we do this, we need to type in the expression, or don't need to type it in, you can copy and paste it, and then it will find the, oh, that's the white rose, my bad. Find the expression for the red rose. And you can see it'll say 64, 64 means player 1. So I'm going to click break, and then I'm going to put in whatever AI I want it to be. In this case, it is Deckmaster K, so I'm going to click on this and type in 16. And then we're going to run the game. And now if we watch the game, we'll actually see that Deckmaster K AI is playing for me. So it's gonna, you know, try and fuse and double stuff. It's gonna play a, Mystical Sand right here, because that's the highest attack combination in its hand. You probably wouldn't want to actually play that card in this duel. I mean, any human, right? Any human would know that because the entire map is forest, it would be a lot better to play Rose Spectre of Dun. And in fact, while we're here, I may as well say that Rose Spectre of Dun is actually the highest attack card that Weevil can actually play, unless he plays Perfectly Ultimate Great Moth. And you might be thinking, you know, what if he sticks Quagga Hercules with some equip cards? But if your save file has less than 3 wins, Weevil and Rex do not actually play equip cards. So if you actually opened with Rose Spectre of Dun here, then Weevil would never be able to actually beat it. He'd only be able to match it. But anyway, back on topic, let's, now that we're on this side, we did hit the break in the debugger, so I'm going to show you, we're going to go back to the debugger again. You can see the game is up behind this screen. And you see the Weevil's the white rose. So again, I am going to click anywhere, left click anywhere on memory, and then you can hold control, press G, and then just copy in the expression. This, obviously, the expression and the AI codes and stuff like that will all be in the description. Once we find it, we'll see 02. That is Weevil Underwood AI. So if we change this to 64, and then we run, you look, it started on the, look, Weevil's not doing anything. It is actually me who's doing stuff. So let's have a look at the game again, and you can see I can move around the whole thing. I can even open up the menu. I can even skip my turn. I can even look at the graveyard as an enemy. Isn't that interesting? So yeah, at this point, this is just Deckmaster K playing the starter deck. So this is effectively the player, right? This guy is just going to automatically do... He has no idea what's going on, right? Like a new player, he has no idea what is actually going on. He doesn't know what to prepare for. He's just going to be trying his best, okay? He's just trying his best. Don't be too hard on him, okay? But he is like a complete noob. Anyway, so now that I'm Weevil, I have to basically just fulfill the prophecy of being Weevil, I guess. Oh, and what a strong opening hand here. This guy has no idea what he's in for. We're just going to go ahead and slow down that Mystical Sand. And you notice now that there's only one side is playing the AI, I actually cannot see his cards. when you saw his cards, that's because the AI had both sides loaded with the AI, or the game had both sides loaded with the AI, rather. And whenever the game does that, it just seems to show all the cards, and you can try that yourself if you do any form of AI versus AI. That's just the way that the game handles it. So yeah, I'm going to continue to be Weevil and, you know, play this... Oh, man. 2 Cocoon of Evolutions, huh? Pretty good card, you know? Of course, we're going to get prepared to just completely body the player, because that's what you want to do, baby. We want to get revenge, okay? We want to get back at the cruel, cruel game by torturing us when we were completely new to the game. And you look, this is perfect AI. Perfect AI. This is something that you do as a new player, right? You just sit there, you don't move, you just play whatever you think is cool. And yeah, he's going to be in for quite the reality check, I must say. And we're just going to get rid of all these cards so we can draw some new hands, some new content. I'm not quite sure what else he has, but I'm pretty confident it is weaker than Mystical Sand, whatever these other 2 cards are. Gonna be very interesting. I'm gonna flip up and attack him. Oh wait, no, we're not. I'm gonna abbreviate the battles, which is interesting as the second player. I don't know if that's actually going to abbreviate the battles for the first player. I mean, I guess I am technically player 1. So maybe it actually is fine. What do I even kill? Not that it matters, but the Zombie Warrior. Okay. Oh, look, we could even play Forest. I mean, not that Weevil ever would do that, but... Screw it. That one little tile, it might actually make the difference. I mean, I should have played it in front of me, because then I could have activated it forward once again and cleared the not Labyrinth, Wasteland. But I mean, it doesn't even matter. The whole field is forest, pretty much. So, yeah. Let's go for a sweeping maneuver. That's definitely not something that the Weevil AI would do. He would just have no clue about that. And oh, perfect. Finally, we got something decent. Look at that. Quagga Hercules with just 1 equip. I still cannot believe, right? Just, like, look, I'm 100 points off a Blue Eyes White Dragon, and this guy's the first duelist in the game. I know I did say that Weevil doesn't play equips if you have less than 3 wins, and that is by design. It's actually one of my favorite design things in the game. Something that they got really, really right. But, it is still just weird. I don't know, it's weird to me. Because you could beat Rex like 3 times, say if you had like a Wasteland deck and you had no idea how to play the game. You would just duel him over and over and over and over again. And then you get to Weevil and be like, this is still impossible. Like, in fact, it's even harder if you haven't gone back and like optimized the deck or whatever. So yeah, let's activate Forest, which is an illegal move because the Weevil just never ever does this. I don't know if you know this, guys, but the AI will just never ever play terrain cards. Rarely you can get Panic to activate it. Seto Kaiba will activate it if he can manage to get his mountain to the center of the field. But apart from that, also, no, I'm not playing Javelin Beetle Pack. That is just a terrible move. But yeah, if Seto manages to get his mountain to the middle of the field, he will actually play that. He will play that. Like, he will actually flip it up and activate it. For everyone else, though, like, I'm pretty sure either they have no check to play the terrain card, or it's just completely broken. I mean, even, like, Pegasus has Toon World. I've never, ever seen him activate it. And if you tell me he has without any proof, I'm just gonna say you're lying to me, because it's one of those humble brags, right? But I have played this game for thousands of hours. Like, I've never seen him activate a field spell. I've never seen Weevil activate a field spell. A lot of them, even if you flip their cards up manually, they will just skip over that card rather than double tapping and activating it. Which, you know, that's a problem, like an AI problem solving thing, I think. I don't really know, if I'm being honest. I really have no idea. But what I do know is that, yeah, the AI just failed to activate terrain cards. It's like they just do not care. And this looks like a bit of a checkmate situation already. Oh, see, look at that. Rare Spectre of Dawn, most powerful high attack card in this deck. Yeah, it's funny because, you know, you would go into this game thinking, you know, like you're a 7-year-old kid, you watch the anime, the best 3 cards in the game, right, are Dark Magician and Blue Eyes White Dragon, but then no, what you really find out is that you have Quagga Hercules as a complete beast. But yeah, I'm pretty sure we've got ourselves into a checkmate situation here, or rather, well, we've got the enemy in the checkmate situation. We're just doing our job as the first duelist in the game to completely destroy the player character. That's what we're doing, right? Oh, can you imagine like the player's perspective at this point? He's like, how am I supposed to win this? How is it possible? And then they see this, right? It's like, you know, you watch the show, you know that like Obelisk the Torment or whatever, it's like 4,000 attack, it's just the highest attack stat card you've got, and then this is the first duelist and he just casually brings out 4,000 attack. I don't get it. But yeah, the point is he was never going to move away from this, and he has no trap cards. Patrician of Darkness deck has no good trap cards. I don't even think it has like a trap card at all, does it? I really, really don't think it does. And there you go. And I'll show you something funny too. We actually get the graveyard slots for the first player. Which might be wondering, how does that work? Unfortunately, it's a bit disappointing. We don't actually get these cards. I'll double check that. I'll prove that. But you can see, it registered that Weevil won. So the funny thing about the game is, it actually gave Weevil the victory. It gave me the loss, and it actually technically attempted to give Weevil those cards, because look, they're not in my library. So the game actually, I guess it wanted to give Weevil the cards. I don't know, maybe they're in his chest now if he has one, but yeah, kind of interesting, isn't it? Kind of interesting. Anyways, that's all for now. I could do Rex, but I just wanted to see if you guys were interested in this sort of video. I can do more duels if you guys want to see, and maybe more AI versus AI stuff. I know I haven't really been working too hard on the channel. It's just not been a top priority for me. It's not like a dire situation or anything. You know, I always get hot and cold with the game. Sometimes I upload less content, and then other times I upload more. It's just more on my mind, but yeah, I just wanted to upload this, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. I'll see you guys in the next video, whatever that's going to be, and have a good one. Goodbye.